ನಿಯಮ. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಸರ್ ಐಸಾಕ್ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್, the great scientist. Who was Sir Isaac Newton? Father of universal gravitation. At January 4, 1643 to March 31st, 1777 is duration in England, where Woolsthorpe, a hamlet of Lincolnshire, England. Sir Isaac Newton, perhaps the most influential scientist of all time, came from very humble beginnings. The Julian calendar places his birthday on Christmas 1642, before which his father John Newton died at the age of 36. He was born premature and possibly had Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism which could explain his later ability to intensely focus on specific subject matters. In 1661, at the age of 18, he entered Trinity College at the University of Cambridge. Newton took an interest in mathematics, overlooking the prominent study of the Greek philosopher Euclid, and instead focusing on the relatively modern works of mind such as René Descartes, Galileo Galilei, John Wallis, and Johann Kepler. Newton died in March 1727 and was interred at Westminster Abbey in London. The Westminster Abbey is in London. Although in the popular imagination he is most closely associated with an apple and the law of gravity. Apple falls. My dear friends, one fine day, Newton was walking and he observed the falling of an apple. Apple falls from the tree and reaches the ground. Immediately Newton sees the falling apple and he thought about the gravity. That is the intellectual thought of science, spirit and enthusiasm. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಚಲನೆ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ನಿಯಮ. ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಚಲನಾ ನಿಯಮಗಳು. ಸರ್ ಐಸಾಕ್ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಭೌತವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಮಾತ್ರವಲ್ಲ, ಗಣಿತಜ್ಞ, ಖಗೋಳ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯೂ ಹೌದು. ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಗುರುತ್ವಾಕರ್ಷಣ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದಿರುವ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚಲನೆಯ ನಿಯಮಗಳು, ಬೈನಾಮಿಯಲ್ ಥಿಯರಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದವು. ಚಲನೆ ನಿಯಮಗಳು. ಮೊದಲ ನಿಯಮ, ಒಂದು ಕಾಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲ ಪ್ರಯೋಗವಾದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಾನವನ್ನು ಬದಲಾಯಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಬಲ ಪ್ರಯೋಗವಾಗದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆ ವಸ್ತು ತಾನಿದ್ದ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ನಿಯಮವನ್ನು ಜಡತ್ವ ನಿಯಮವೆಂದು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾರೆ, ದ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಇನರ್ಷಿಯಾ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆ, ಒಂದು ತೆಳು ಹಾಳೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾಣ್ಯವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಳೆದಾಗ ಆ ನಾಣ್ಯ ಅಲುಗಾಡದೆ ಆ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಎರಡನೇ ನಿಯಮ, ಒಂದು ಕಾಯದ ವೇಗೋತ್ಕರ್ಷವು ಬಲಕ್ಕೆ ನೇರ ಅನುಪಾತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ರಾಶಿಗೆ ವಿಲೋಮ ಅನುಪಾತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಥ್ಲೆಟ್ ತಾನು ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಕಾದರೆ ವೇಗವನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಮೂರನೇ ನಿಯಮ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗೂ ಸಮವಾದ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾದ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ, ರಾಕೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅನಿಲಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಲದಿಂದ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಲಿಸುವುದೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಲದಿಂದ ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಲಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. Well friends, let us have a glance over the three laws of motion. Newton's first law. The stationary object will remain stationary, and an object in uniform motion will continue its uniform motion unless a force is applied to it. That means every body continues to remain in the state of rest or of a uniform motion in a straight line unless it is compelled by an external force. This is Newton's first law states. I would like to divert your attention towards the second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of a body is proportional to the applied force acting on it, and the change of momentum also takes place in the direction in which the force acts. The force is proportional to the product of mass and acceleration. The third law is very important and very simple to remember. When an object applies a force on another object, when the object also applies a force of equal magnitude and on the first object but in the opposite direction. It's very easy to say action and reaction are equal and opposite. Where there is an action, there will be an immediate reaction. That's what Newton's third law says. Launching of a rocket. One more example, rebounding of a carom board of a coin, striker. Or one more example, firing a bullet from a 303 rifle. These are all the examples for the Newton's third law of motion.